Hello and welcome to the tutorial on learning RPA with UiPath. In today's session, let us try to solve one of the simple problems. We will try to create a process that accepts an input from the user and suddenly saves it to a string variable, say username, and then it should assign another value to the status variable. We will consider the other variable name to be status, and after completion of the execution, a log message should be displaying concatenated values in the output panel. Okay, so basically we are trying to receive an input from the user with the username, and to that we will try to attach a string variable, say status, and then finally we will try to concatenate both the things and then display them in the output panel. This is the task. Okay, so let us go to UiPath Studio. I have already created a sequence, so let me drag in the sequence activity in which I'll try to dump in all of the related activities. Okay, so the first thing is accept the user input. Okay, so let me use this simple input dialog box. Okay, so let me show you a few things that are important as part of the best practices while building the workflows. So one of the things is you can rename this activity, say input for username. Okay, so let me configure the title. Username, let me configure it as username. Input label, so let us give the label here. Enter your name. Okay, and type of input is text box, and the value entered must be stored somewhere. So let me create a variable, control K, and say username. Okay, so along with this, there is one more best practice that we can add on is click on this icon and then say annotations and click on add annotations. This activity will accept the user input with user name. Okay, fine. So this is one of the best practices that allows the users to understand what exactly they are trying to do with this activity. Okay, so we have got the user input and then certainly saved it in one of the variables. So the next task is to define a status. Okay, so let me use a simple assign activity, and here let us try to configure the status. Okay, so let us rename this assign activity and say assign status, and certainly we can also add the annotation for this. Okay, so let me add the annotation, add annotations. Here I'll say assign a status value. Okay, and then let me create a variable, control K, status, and to that I'll try to define a value mainly as active. Okay, fine. I can define any status there, active, inactive, or something else. Okay. So I have defined a status variable and then made it active. And if you visit the variables panel, you can see that we have two variables with username and status. Both of them are of type string. Okay. So ultimately, we should be able to display both of these things in the log window by concatenating them. So I'll try to use a simple log message activity. I'll just drag and drop the things. I'll add an annotation for this also to concatenate username and the status. Okay, let us configure the message here, username, so I can concatenate with the help of plus operator. Okay, and in between I'll try to use a word is, and then I'll say status. Okay, so username is status. So username, whatever the name inputted by the user, will be displayed here. Along with that, the status, which is active or inactive or whatever it is, will be displayed. So this is how I can concatenate the string variables. So let me save this, and then let us set the log level to be info. Right? I hope this is clear to you all. Let us execute this and see what we will get. So it will ask for the user input, and once the user input is given, that is being concatenated with the status that we have defined in the assign. Okay. It is compiling. Yeah, so it is asking for the username. I'll say Ramesh, and then if I press enter, and at last I can see the message in the log window. Okay, in the output panel I can see here Ramesh is active. The same thing I can even display it using a simple message box. So for the sake of example, I have taken Ramesh as the name. You can take whatever the name that you wish to take. Okay, I hope you are clear about the exercise as well as the best practices that we can follow while building the automations. Share it with your friends, hit the like button. Thank you.